many art forms can one artist tackle? We introduce to you Angel Thevybe. He died and came back to life as an angel. We got Angel Thevybe. I'm Big Bry. Level Up Cleveland starts right now.
We are sitting here with Angel Thevybe from Cleveland. Angel Thevybe is involved in all sorts of different things. Angel Thevybe is a rapper. He's also involved in a kind of a rap rock type of a music venture he does. He's also kind of an influencer on Instagram. He goes on there and he's got many videos to watch. Also, he's starting to get into the ghost type thing where you're going out and you're doing some ghost hunting too.
I love the poltergeist.
Yeah. And you have videos that you're starting to do. That's kind of a new thing though, right?
Yeah, that just actually started about, I say 2 months ago. I just sat there. I was like, you know what? I was watching Ghost Hunters one night. I was like, you know, I can freaking do that. And then my roommate was like, yo, what you mean? I was like, well, look, we're going to get some equipment. We're going to get it all together. And then after we get it together, I'm going to go out there. Because, I mean, you got these days, people are more up to just go ahead and just lose their freaking life over something crazy. I was like, well, shoot, I'm just going to go hunt ghosts by myself and I'll be all right. I ain't got to worry about a ghost pulling a gun on me and I'll be fine.
So before we get into the Ghostbuster thing, I want to know about your music because that's really how we know you.
Yeah.
Is through your music, right?
Yeah.
Now you do just again, you're a very multifaceted person.
Yeah.
You're not just linked into one thing, right?
Nah, not on anything.
And you're playing guitar.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that for now?
For years, for a good 6 years.
By people like Prince, by instance?
Love Prince.
I could tell. Is there any more instruments you're thinking about picking up? Guitar, you're a vocalist, lyricist.
It would be, if I was to go the journey to anywhere, it would be a violin. The violin is very elegant.
A violin is way out of left field, but not for you because I've got, again, like I said, you're very complex. There's not just, I don't think anybody could guess what you would do next.
Nobody can sit here and put that, like, if there'd be like, hey, let's stick the vibe in one situation. You couldn't do that.
I get the vibe would definitely not be pigeonholed. No. You're not pigeonholed.
No, I won't ever stick to myself to one genre of something to do because the way I'm built is like I can adapt to any situation. Put me in the middle of the freaking desert, I'll figure out how to get out of there. That's the type of person I am.
And that's what I kind of gathered as I was doing my research on you. I was just like, wow, this guy seems like he could do any kind of, like the king of all media type person.
Yeah, basically.
So let's just get into that a little bit. So Instagram seems to be the way that's your main.
Yeah.
You really like, why Instagram? Why not Facebook? Or why not something else? Why are you going there?
Instagram seems to have people there that sit there and they interact with you. You interact with them, they interact with you. Where they're on Facebook, people are having more personal posts, more personal things that they got going on, and unless you react to them and be a whole type of, if I could use, no, I'm just gonna be straight up. If you could just not be a dick rider. If you're a dick rider, then you're there. But if you're not, then the people seem to just go ahead and go the other way. And you can notice it to where you go on Instagram, just as far as TikTok. People are there like, hey, boom, let's work together. Let's make something happen. And
you like TikTok? Do you use TikTok too?
Yeah. I don't really use TikTok because there's certain things on there that I don't agree with. But that's I wouldn't want to sit here and like put people out there about it, and would it be no necessarily one thing to put them out there about? It's just mainly just saying like, wow, if you're gonna, what happens is just if I got some type of issue, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna sit down instead of just hiding behind a phone, and then you talk about it then, and then when people approach you or you sit here and get put on front street about it, you sit here renege from everything you're saying. I don't agree with that. It's just another platform for certain types of people. I want to, and this is one thing. I'm an all around person. I support everything everybody's doing. But one thing I don't support is sitting here not speaking your mind. Keep the same energy every time. If you're gonna approach a person, keep that same energy.
I like that.
Because if you don't keep that same energy, a person, when you leave that conversation or you leave that person's gonna get left with thoughts.
Right.
And when they get left with thoughts go everywhere. That's why I love the human mind for that. Like it can go from left to right to north to south. But
That's
when
good.
you
That's a good point.
straight up, people know what you're about.
So what are you about? So let me like when I think about Angel Thevybe, I'm like, this guy doesn't. I get a lot of bands. We get a lot of bands in here. We get a lot of acts in here. I know exactly what they are, right? They're like, that's the bass player. But Angel Thevybe, I don't know. I'm trying to put a label. I don't think you can. And I think that's funny is you're always seems to be you're trying to broaden your
Why
own.
not? You tell me why not. You tell me why not. Be that person. For me, it's an outlet. For me, it's an expression of being able to say things that I probably or wouldn't be able to say in natural society. It's basically getting away with murder. Basically, all in a nutshell, just to be able to express myself with no judgment, no flag, nothing coming back on me. I'm just expressing myself. It's music. Don't take it to the heart. When it comes to people like Eminem, ODB,
Where do you compare yourself like with those kind of guys like that?
with them kind of guys, I would compare myself. If I was to put myself up there with anyone, it would be Raekwon the chef. No. Take that back. ODB, Eminem, Big L. Let's go to the South on this one. Let's go to the South. Nelly.
Interesting.
Life is very like the Winchester Mystery House. There's a bunch of doors.
Well, go explain it. Yeah.
Bunch of doors. So why limit yourself? Why not take a peek and go open that door and see what's on the other side? Open that door, see what's on the other side. Open that door, see what's on the other side, and just keep it going until you find that one door you're entering where everything is embraced as one. It's just not one strict idea, one strict genre, a big old load of bubble of open-mindedness. If you can't have open-mindedness, I believe you cannot entertain people well. Because the best entertainers have an open mind. They go from here, they go from there, they go from here,
yes.
they go from there.
So let me ask you this. So you have all these different entities. You have all these. Where do you come from? Like where does this sauce come from? Where were you like younger, growing up? How do you get to be so diverse into so many different things? Where were you born? You're obviously a local person.
Born and raised in Cleveland at Cleveland Metro Health Center. I was born in '88. Was supposed to be born on the 24th. I died on the 11th.
Whoa. What'd you just say?
I died. I died. It came back to life. I was born. It's funny how the story.
Oh, it's hilarious. Let's talk about that now.
So the story behind that is I died. It came back on the 25th of Christmas.
So you died on Christmas.
No, I died on the 24th and came back on
the
Christmas.
25th. So you were dead for a whole day.
Dead for a whole hour.
So you were died at like this.
Dead. Like they're getting ready to be like, hey, this baby's not about to be popping.
Oh, so you were a baby at this
point.
Yeah,
at this time. This is
newborn?
Giving you.
Are you a newborn or are you like?
No, it's straight up out the womb. Straight up out the womb when it happened. So they did the whole thing. My mom asked them to keep me going, and they kept me going as they can. And then when they went to go in to be like, hey, hold the plug, this is over. I came back to life and was having good vital signs at 12 o'clock, right when it hit Christmas. That was the only baby born during that year on '88 on Christmas.
Oh.
It was on a Sunday, to even be more exact. Of all days of the week, on a freaking Sunday.
Yeah, heck yeah. Very odd.
Odd as hell. I don't question it too much. I don't think about it too much, but I just find it odd as shit. Like,
Yeah, well,
anybody
almost like it
would.
was meant to be type thing. There's too many coincidences type thing.
Yeah, but that's people's stories. I didn't experience it. I don't remember it. I mean, I experienced
Right.
it,
Well, you
but
might not.
I don't remember it, of course. But it's like, hey, like,
So then you're born
yeah,
and you die. That's just that's a day or a couple hours. An hour. 10 minutes is a long time to be dead. Right?
hour is a long time to be dead. And
Isn't a second a long time to be dead, really, when you think about it? Like, if I'm going to be dead, isn't a second, doesn't that automatically become a long time?
60 seconds could be a long time to experience anything.
60 seconds sounds like it's 60 times too long to be dead to me.
You know it.
So you're born, and then what happens to you? I'm trying, and the reason I'm asking you this kind of stuff is because I don't meet a lot of people like you who are so diverse, who want to be in so, like, you're so artistically drawn in so many directions. Where do you come from? How does that happen?
I was born and raised in Cleveland, straight on the west side. My mom had some personal issues. I ain't gonna brag on that. But we always traveled a lot. So where people can make friends and make an establishment of things or what's around them, no. Every 6 months to a year, we're going somewhere else. We're going somewhere else. We're going somewhere
So you're
else.
on the move a lot.
A hell of a lot. So it caused me to be always having to knowing how to adapt to every different situation, because every situation is different. If you don't know how to adapt, you're gonna perish. Facts. If you don't know how to adapt, you're gonna perish. If you're put in some situation or some different type of terrain, you gotta adapt or
You're not going to make it.
That's
Survival of the
just
fittest. I mean, that's
it.
purely what it is, right?
That's it. That's it. At the end of the day, that's what it is. If you don't adapt, but along the way, when you start to adapting, you picked up on things. You pick up on things. And I had a little sister. I ain't gonna mention her. That her father was from the Bronx, New York, South Bronx, New York, and he DJ'd. He's always DJing all the time. Always DJ, just cutting the records up, old school style. And he would play so much different records, and to the point to where he got my brother put on it. I got my oldest brother, and then with him being the same way I am, but a whole different route, he started journeying into other things and other things. And I was always that kid that, hey, go to sleep, get your little self to sleep. No, I'm in the party trying to mingle with everybody and talk to everybody, but I'm like 11, 12 years old.
Oh, so you started off young, learning adult stuff.
Yeah, I knew about. It's funny. I knew about stuff that people didn't even know about within Cleveland. That when I talked to them, they were like, "What is that? You don't know? Like, what?
Give me an example of something. What do you mean?
The movie Fresh. You remember the movie Fresh with the little young kid, the little young black kid, and how he had to sit here and literally play chess with his life.
Yes.
Do you remember the movie Juice?
I remember. I didn't see Juice, but I do remember when Juice came out.
That's to be a Cleveland dude wrapped around, and I actually think that's just like every Cleveland person, that they're wrapped around so much LA, New York, Atlanta, even to the far south, New Orleans, going even further to even Florida itself. You come back, when it comes back here, look at Bone Thugs and Harmony. When it comes back here, we're in the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It meets for some reason that I don't understand when it comes to Clevelanders.
So you think that Cleveland is like a magnetic hub?
Yeah.
In some sense.
Yes.
Why is it so ridiculous that Cleveland isn't the next Seattle scene or whatever scene? Like the next city that embraces something and becomes that next thing.
Because for me, if you was to ask me that question, I would tell you straight up. Like it's because Cleveland, literally in the simplest terms, is everywhere. We blend in.
Like chameleons.
Basically.
So you like people leave Cleveland and go to Florida.
Yeah.
People leave Cleveland and go to LA. People leave Cleveland and go to Louisiana.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Or so you think we're represented everywhere?
No, it ain't represented.
Oh, we just get the hell out of here. Is that what you're saying?
We sit here, we broaden the horizons. It's like I look at Cleveland, being born in Cleveland and raised in Cleveland, that you have a natural kind of New York type of mentality to where you wanna, if you can survive here, you can
Anywhere.
survive anywhere.
Like, are you involved in any bands? Is this just yourself?
It's just been myself for a minute, for a long time. I dabbled with the Unrest band, and
What's the Unrest band? The Unrest band. What's that?
they're actually located within the studio right now. So they might come on here one time. You guys might bring them on there one time. But they're a bunch of good guys. The guy that's the lead singer, actually, I could actually say that he discovered me. If it wouldn't be for Eric Magnus, I wouldn't be right here sitting in front of you guys.
Is that it? Now, what's up? I saw something about Boss King.
Yeah.
Is that who you're talking about? Is that
Yes,
what
Mr. Boss King lifestyle.
okay? And what's that? Explain to me what the Boss King lifestyle is.
It's an expression of something that just represents a person that is a boss in their own right. Not in the boss in the sense of running people, in the sense of running the corporation. Just you are a boss.
Of
Just
yourself?
like a king.
Of your boss of yourself?
Boss of yourself, a boss of who you are, a boss of what you represent, of everything that you sit here and put out, that it is straight coming from a boss. Because we all have a boss built within us. All of us on God's green earth.
Do people really know how to express themselves properly? Because, like, isn't it possible that somebody who's into rap really, really would express themselves different in a country song? They just don't know it because they never really put themselves there to ever even know if it would be more expressive, like to them, to be in a country. You know, does that make sense to you? What I'm saying? There's so many.
Yeah. I could reference a comedy show that I love watching, the 85 South Show, with DC Young Fly, Chico Bean. Them guys are able to express themselves in many manners. Whatever the flow of the vibe is going, they're able to express themselves.
Could the vibe? Could he ever go country? Could you ever see yourself sporting a cowboy hat? But
Why? That would be.
They say, why
if
not?
I'm sporting a car,
Why not? Well, here's my question: why not? What if all of a sudden you're feeling that? You know, like or like a song you have or an expression you have.
Be in this basic profiling. Do you have to look like a cowboy to sound like a cowboy?
So I'm not saying look.
I'm just saying.
So what's the next thing you got coming up? You got anything in the future coming up? You working on stuff right now? Is there something that you're?
If I would say, it would be two things: ghost hunting and combining corn with XXXTentacion type music.
Korn, the band you talking about?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty heavy.
Love them. They rock out.
Oh, I love them too.
If you're ever gonna do vocal exercises,
Jonathan Davis is one of my favorites. He's great.
Forget about it.
Love him, huh?
That expression that he's able to go in the song and express himself full expression, and people love it. Not just accept it. They love it. They understand it. They feel it.
So you like that? Their uniqueness. They're a very unique band.
Yes.
There's nothing like Korn.
Yes.
They're like their own genre.
Yes, it's just like the kid I just referenced.
Is your band like that? Does the band you're playing in or anything like that? Would you guys say that you're similar to that? Or,
I wouldn't say, because I can't speak for the band. I could speak for myself.
You kind of can. If you're in a band, you can speak for them. I mean,
it's a thing that where I'm there and I'm not thing. So I don't speak for people or speak for anyone if I'm not there. I'd rather have.
If you're not there, you don't want to speak for.
Because I was raised off the fact of, you're going to speak on things or you're going to put things or whatever, you're going to talk about anything, let the people be there. I don't do that. That's just not me. I'm going to tell you to your face type of person.
I got you. So do you have anything upcoming in the future here?
Yeah.
Like, is you writing stuff now? Is there?
Yes.
Well, tell me about it.
It's combining trap with dark metal.
Really?
Combining trap.
What the hell is dark metal? I've heard black metal. Now that was back a long time ago, but black just went to dark. What does that mean? What's dark metal?
It's being able to express yourself in a whole new world, in a world that people are used to, but not used to. And then you combine it. So when you combine it, you bring a whole new genre of people. You combine them two crowds into one. but them same people feel as each other. But they're just caught in a wall. So as soon as you break down that wall, they come together as one.
That's it.
R.I.P. to XS Tasha, that kid, because he was the first to do it. I would not sit here and say that he wasn't. They took the kid out. When they took the kid out, that type of genre died with him. So when I seen it, and I seen how everybody was adapted to it, every single race, every single color was just able to adapt to it. Why not? Why not be the new? Why not make that just a regular? Because everybody has this strict genres these days. It's just straight genres.
You're right.
Either you do trap, or you do pop, or you do this.
I'll tell you why that is. Because we've always, I mean, in my opinion,
it's an industry.
We've always tried to find a way to describe music without having to listen to it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
How do I tell you how good a band is without having the song here? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we created genres so that we could kind of like categorize it so people could get an idea of what you are without hearing your song. And I think that's where it starts. It's like a convenient way to give you a description of you without having to.
But that's an industry, though. That's an industry thing. But you need a product. You
do music to get discovered in a way. I mean, you want people to discover your music.
But you base yourselves off of you're a product. At the end of the day, when it comes to entertaining, you're a product. You're nothing more than a Pepsi. You're nothing more than a Coca-Cola.
This is true.
You stick to a straight genre of that thing. You're a Pepsi, or you're a chicken, or you're that. You stick to that. Like you stick to it. But what if you combine it? Then you just make a hell of a meaty sandwich.
So you're an RC Cola.
Of course. You got to category everything so you can be able to search and find it. But at the end of the day,
so I agree with you saying it's hard for an artist to categorize themselves. It's almost like annoying. But
actually, it's pretty. Actually, from what I experienced and seen, this people these days, they make it pretty easy to put you in a.
Well, I'm talking about categorizing yourself.
As an artist, they make it pretty easy for themselves to put them. If you're making drill music, you're making drill music. If you're making trap, you're making trap. If you're making rock, you're making rock, and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, so before we leave here today, what are you?
Everywhere.
All right.
Straight up.
Angel Thevybe here, everybody, today, man. It's been a great interview with you, man.
Salute to everybody.
Thank you for coming by.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for sitting here listening, and we just sitting here having our thoughts just bang off at each other like freaking atoms in the freaking middle of a fucking goddamn spinning machine.
I was spinning. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Salud.
That'll be fine.